In today's episode, we're going to go over the one most important tip when you first get going with TIG welding. Welcome to another episode from Pacific Arc TIG Welding. My name's Dusty. I'm a welding artist from Vancouver Island, Canada. I do welding art projects in both two-dimensional and three-dimensional surfaces. And on my YouTube channel, I love showing off and teaching the art of TIG welding. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to bounce back. Check out the previous episodes. There's a ton of episodes to watch. All right, today I want to go over one of the most important tips I have to reiterate with a student, whether it's in person or whether it's online through my online training program. This is a really important tip when you first get going with TIG welding. Now, a common mistake that a lot of people make when they first get going with TIG welding is they don't know what to focus on when they start welding. A natural instinct is for people to start focusing on the tungsten. A lot of the time they're worried about dipping the tungsten into the weld pool, contaminating and wrecking the tungsten. Obviously you got to pay attention to that. But the thing you actually want to pay attention to is the leading edge of your puddle. Now, I once heard it in relation to mountain biking. If you're mountain biking through the forest, you don't want to be looking at all the trees and the sharp rocks that you can crash into. You want to keep your eyes on the path that you want to stay on. That way you kind of follow your natural instincts just to follow what you're focusing on. I don't mountain bike, so I could be talking shit on this one. I don't know. But that's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on the leading edge of the puddle, because here's where it's going to help you out the most. When you start using filler rod. When you start using filler rod, you're going to be aiming for this sweet spot of the puddle here. Your eyes are going to be locked onto the leading edge of the puddle, and you're going to put the filler rod in just on the inside of the puddle, but slightly off center of the puddle. So you're basically going to split the difference between the center of the puddle and the edge of the puddle. Right in the middle there is going to be your sweet spot. So you can see when the puddle gets going here, take a look at where the filler rod is going into the puddle. Like I said, it's just on the inside of the leading edge, yet just a bit ahead of the center of the puddle. That's the sweet spot where you want to be putting the filler rod in. You can see how much filler rod I'm using as well. This is going to let you focus on the right part of the puddle. It's not going to be confusing. You're going to see exactly what you're aiming for. It's a lot easier to follow if you keep your eye on this detail. Now, another important thing to focus on is this. As you can see in this still frame here, it's the angle from your tungsten in relation to the filler rod. You can see that the two angles are roughly 90 degrees from each other. Anytime you get too open of an angle, so it's more than 90 degrees, or if it's tighter than this 90-degree angle, you're gonna have problems with your filler rod wetting off properly into the puddle. Not to mention, if it's too tight, you're also gonna have problems hitting the sweet spot of the puddle where you wanna be aiming for. So an optimal angle when you first get going is that 90-degree rule. Filler rod is 90 degrees to the tungsten. That's gonna get you sorted out the best way to get a clean dab into a filler rod pass. Now you can see in this slow motion clip here, you can actually see how many pulses per second there are. That's pretty cool. But take a look at where the filler rod is going in. It is just on the inside of that leading edge of the puddle, yet still slightly ahead of where the tungsten is aiming. So like I said, splitting the difference between the leading edge of the puddle and the center of the puddle. This detail is going to get you the cleanest dip into a puddle, and also you're not going to be focusing on the wrong thing. So you're actually going to probably tend to dip your tungsten a lot less. So if you got any value from this tip, here's how you can repay me. You can go out today and do a random act of kindness for a stranger. So go out today, I don't care what you do, anything to spread some positivity in the world. We need it right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, for Pacific Arc TIG Welding, my name's Dusty. Hope you have a good one. Peace.